Like, serious?
He is on.
I can put a
So,
number.
he'll,
Good.
so it's on Broad. He's
Having a hard time retiring.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call a Township workshop meeting to order tonight on Tuesday, December 9th. If we could please start with a prayer and the pledge of allegiance. As we gather here today as commissioners and members of Scott Township, we ask that we are ever mindful of each other, opportunities to render our service to fellow citizens and to our community that we hold dear. Keeping in mind always the enduring values of life, acceptance, understanding, exerting our efforts in those areas and on those things upon which future generations can build with confidence and build proudly. Let us continue to strive to make a better neighborhood, a better township, and a better world. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I don't know what Michelle said.
I just heard my phone.
But she's on her way.
Okay.
So,
Commissioner Gasta? Here. Commissioner Sorkin? Here. Commissioner Sedlak?
yeah. Now, we just got emails from her.
She's en route. She's not here yet.
Okay.
Is she coming here?
I believe so.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Commissioner Seibel?
Here.
Commissioner Costello?
Here.
Commissioner Delfonso? Commissioner Myers? Commissioner Wateska?
here.
Commissioner Altman?
Here.
7 present, 2 absent.
Two pending.
Pam's coming.
Yep. All right, public comments on all agenda items listed below. Are there any public comments on this? No? Okay. Planning, zoning and code enforcement update. Mark?
Thank you. The permits issued for November, for a total of for $122,000. There were 20 notices of violation issued, 16 magistrate hearings, 9 rental inspections, 8 building inspections, 0 right to knows.
All right. Anything else to add? Tonight, we're welcoming Martin Palma, Marty. We're going to discuss appointing him to the Planning Commission to spot vacated by Todd Tulowitzki. That expires on March 1st, 2029. Would you like to come up and say hello? Thank you again for coming tonight.
My name is Mark Palma. I live at 1340 Spreading Oak Drive. Been there for about 20 years, 21 years. Wife grew up on Great Oak Drive. Live there with our 3 daughters and 3 grandchildren also. So later on, we're in the community, so I'm ready to retire.
Oh,
That's fine.
My background, I started out in law enforcement and I have in construction and facilities. I currently serve as executive director of facilities for Community College of Allegheny County. With them for 15 years. I was with Allegheny County for over 25 years. Spent time at the courthouse, city county building, and then to the airport for the last. I have a training certification. I trained in safety and security at the airport. And I was also a adjunct professor at CAC in project management. In a nutshell.
keep yourself busy.
I'd say.
Yeah.
I'm sitting next to a facilities manager here.
Every day's Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we can't thank you enough for your interest in serving on the board. Any questions? That? Any questions for Martin?
No, we look forward to having you.
All that experience, thank you again.
Absolutely.
All right, so we'll vote on the position at our second meeting. That'll be on the 23rd. But again, thanks for coming in tonight.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
Not missing anything at the airport these days.
If it goes well, and
Thanks again. All right, next up, the solicitors report, John.
Yes, discussing a motion to advertise an ordinance for acceptance of a sanitary sewer line in the Cherry Meadows Development Plan. We have, it's proceeding along. We have to submit the plan to county for recording. And so I'm going to do that first, and then we'll pass the ordinance next month.
Any questions on that?
You know what, I wanted to, is Mark still here? Yeah. We've gotten, concerns from the neighborhood about the development. I'm sorry.
There you
Yeah,
go.
we've gotten concerns about the development in the neighborhood. So I just want to double check that you guys have really been on top of checking for all the infrastructure and everything with the sewer lines before everything gets turned over to the township.
Yes, there's a entire process, Jane, that they have to go through before it gets to the point where John's talking about right now. So he's only referring to the line that is for the Lindsay Road homes, and then what comes down Cherry Tree. So the additional lines that they're putting in, that will again be tested, televised, and inspected by their inspectors in the field. So they're doing a great job of making sure that it's meeting the requirements for the township.
And I know that the neighbors are concerned about it, and as they see the houses go up so quickly. I mean, I realize that's not part of the planning commission's responsibility, but kind of makes them stop and think.
Both the houses are being inspected by professional code services, and like I said, the development's being inspected, particularly the items you're talking about by Lenny Smith. Make sure that everything's in.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, for Nick, we have discussed prohibiting self-driving.
Sure. Yeah, I just saw a report this week that self-driving taxis by one of the agencies are starting to test in the city of Pittsburgh. And given that we had joined the city of Pittsburgh in so many areas, not that they're necessarily heading this way, but I thought we might want to discuss implementing an ordinance, either prohibiting or restricting until the technology is really more proven. I've heard some horror stories out there.
I mean, my initial thought would be that on something like this, PennDOT and the federal government would regulate these that would be preempted on there. Sam's right, they have control of the highways. But if there's particularly if you've run across anything where in any discussions, the community's thinking about doing it, send that material over. Okay. But my reaction would be, we can do very brief research to confirm that this is really governed by federal or state transportation.
I'm not sure it is. And that's primary to my concern, is I have not seen anything.
I would
restricting it.
guess it would be. I would think PUC would control it.
Even if we're not, I would suspect that we don't have the statutory authority under the first class township code, because we can only do what they tell us we can do, unfortunately, if it's not in there.
I would think PUC would only be based on
Well,
the taxi service. Yeah.
Yeah, well, taxis are controlled by PUC. So if this is taxi service, I would think they
I
would.
think I realized that.
Yeah, I don't know if
I think I realized
I
that.
don't know if Uber and Lyft are, though. I think conventional taxis are, but that's interesting. I think it's worth some research, but
Uber and Lyft were. I thought originally they weren't, and then they were, and I don't know where they are these days.
it might be state by state. But yeah. Well, we can look at it. I wanted to bring it up because it's concerning that they could be heading our way, and I've seen these things doing some crazy stuff.
They said news the other day, one, I forget where it was, went through a construction site.
Through construction sites, through police activities, around emergency vehicles, around school buses. I mean, these are not ready for mainstream.
Can't get normal residents to stop at school buses.
Right.
There's actually,
Maybe that'll be an improvement, driverless.
there's been testing going on with autonomous vehicles in the Pittsburgh area for years.
Yes,
CMU, I think.
I think they stopped for a while though, didn't
they did. They were testing the vehicles, but now they're actually gonna have passengers in them.
Just not
they? Oh, I didn't realize that.
My son designs autonomous cars.
Okay, gotcha.
So, and he's in business.
Good to know.
Don't tell them to come to Scott.
It's not next.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
pick up
the road.
He doesn't visit you, right?
All right, we'll move on to the engineers report, Marie.
Okay, thank you very much. First item on the engineer's report is discuss award of sewer shed C-53 source flow reduction project to Cronin Enterprises LLC for the base bid only in the amount of $679,226.65. You'll recall that we opened bids. We had 3 bidders. Low bid was Cronin. Cronin is the same company that is working on your PRP Phase 2 project. Cronin has done these types of projects in the past and has done them with our company. The bid was good. So I would ask that this be placed on the agenda for formal approval at the next meeting.
Where is this again?
But this is Burkwood area, Sillview. It's your C-53 drainage basin. It's one of your required 10% projects under the consent order.
Could you remind us what the scope of work this is? It's like lining and
So this is,
situation.
yes, this is spot repair and lining, and then there's one section of manhole to manhole replacement within this project.
Thank you.
Very welcome.
All right, any other questions for Marie? Put that on full vote.
Thank you very much. Next item is to discuss approval of bond reduction request number 6 submitted by Flashpoint Partners, reducing the performance bond from $1,466,574.16 to $1,391,917.16 for the Cherry Meadows Development Nixon School. Received the bond reduction request from the contractor. We field viewed the work that has been completed, adjustments were made, and we have recommended the bond reduction request. This will, let me see here. Yeah, we're holding 110% of the value of the incomplete work. This is the same as the other 5 requests. I just want to add that I was contacted by the contractor right after we issued the letter indicating that he made a mistake in his submission, that he should have submitted for more. I informed him that I was unable to change the letter and that we would consider that for bond reduction number 7. So we typically have entertained approving the bond reductions at this meeting as opposed to the regular meeting. That is for the decision of the board. It is up to you, but either way, if you approve tonight or if you approve at the next meeting, it is recommended.
How do we feel about it?
So you're saying we ratify? Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
See,
If you would like to.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of our practice as opposed to saying straight up, we're approving it tonight, but for what we've done, go ahead with the idea it's going to be ratified at the voting meeting.
Might have a concern to ratify it.
How far out would number 7 be for the additional amount? You have to,
Probably January.
It is.
I could conceivably have it for your next meeting, but
1,000.
I'd like to see them continue moving along. It seems like they're making steady progress.
yeah, this,
So
they changed site contractors recently and this second site contractor seems to be doing a lot better. So it's been a better experience. They have been moving quicker.
I'm happy to work with contractors rather than fighting them all the time if we don't have to.
got one working, let's keep them going.
Yeah.
How refreshing.
Right.
Yeah. All right, so we'll approve that tonight and then put it on for the voting meeting to ratify.
Thank you.
And then will the board consider the next bond reduction number 7 if Lennon Smith is able to review it at the
How much more are they asking for in that revision?
I haven't gone through it, Nick. He submitted it like, I don't know, Friday afternoon, and I just haven't had a chance to look at it.
What he did is this is the first time this particular individual submitted the request for the bond reduction. He only put in the work he needed for this pay period instead of the total amount. And so there's a lot more work that has been completed. He's just trying to get it caught up because of his error. He recognizes it. He just asked if we could ask the board to consider it possible.
I guess I would just, just for our information, and I do pass by that regularly, but for our information, if you could kind of understand the percentage of work completed based on the percentage we're getting.
I mean, overall, we can figure it out overall, but the table that is attached to this, it gives a percent complete for each one of the line items that he's
Gotcha.
in his schedule values.
Right. Anyone, go ahead.
I don't have a problem doing it on the 23rd, as long as it's,
We know. Right, anyone else have an issue with that? No, okay.
Thank you.
All right, standing committee report, finance. Oh,
thank you very much. The first item I have on here is to discuss an ordinance for the 2026 tax levy, fixing the tax rate for general purposes at 7.91 mils. For general purposes in the library is 0.0641 mils, total 7.9741 mils. Put that on for, see anyone here this. The second item is discuss the adoption of an ordinance establishing the 2026 budget. Unless anyone has anything to say, put that on and discuss approval. Well, let's do those two first. So we have the budget. We've had 3 meetings. We've had a strike down meeting, which means 4 meetings. We have this meeting. So I would think on the 23rd, we've all agreed to discuss budget on it, to the ends of the earth. I think it's a good budget and hopefully everyone will support it.
There's no tax increase, correct?
And there's no tax increase and we have a surplus. I forget the last number, right? $45,000 or something
Yeah.
like that, which we'll put into our capital
Reserves.
The next item is discuss approval of resolution designating a depository for the funds of Scott Township as required by the first class township code. Carla has recommended that the township retain Dollar Bank for all primary banking activities. She's not here tonight, but if she's recommending, I would think that would be fine. Heard of no problems with that.
That's who we're with currently.
That's who we're with. It's just housekeeping.
And the last item is discuss resolution declaring the Board of Commissioners approval for the secretary to pay specified bills prior to the monthly voting meetings. That one,
You've done in the past. That's like your utility bills and things like that. Again, housekeeping just has to get it on the record.
okay, that's fine. Put that on for a vote as well. Does anyone have any questions with any of those items? If not, thank you, Madam Chairwoman.
thank you. All right, standing committee report, public safety. We have our chief of police update for tonight.
Good evening, everyone. So we have 2 months worth since I wasn't here last month, so I'll be quick. October was a busy month. We had 956 calls for service. Of those, we completed 502 reports, 22 arrests and 41 citations were issued in October. November slowed down a little bit, 738 calls for service, 445 reports, 12 arrests and 30 citations. You'll notice citations has increased. Our traffic program is full swing, so that is working very well. So Officer Hyman is in that position and he's doing a good job. That is all I have as far as my report and our activities within the police department.
Chief, just a quick question. What are most of those arrests for? Just out of curiosity.
Little bit of everything. Normally this time of year, retail theft is picking up.
Okay.
As the holidays approach. I don't know for certain in October why it was so high. We have had some drug arrests lately in always domestic related issues as well.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Matt? All right, discuss the proposed contract with Rossland Farms, which their council had signed at their November meeting. Kathy, I'm sorry, I went ahead and read that.
That's okay.
Everything looks good to me. I passed it on to Denise and Joanne. I believe that looks good to them as well. As I understand it, the law has changed. We only need to do a resolution to adopt it and sign it. So draft the resolution for the next meeting and be ready to go.
Okay.
Okay, discuss adding a 15 mile per hour sign to Raven Drive. That was Commissioner Wateska requested that.
Yeah, I've been working with the chief and Captain Walker, and I can let the chief discuss more about that.
Yeah, so what prompted this was the pretty bad accident that occurred on Raven Drive where a young lady wrecked into some parked vehicles and speed was a concern. So as we normally do, we put up the speed signs. And this time, instead of our normal routine of putting up and showing the speed first and then shutting it off and seeing the difference, we left the speed off the entire time. I wanted people to think it wasn't working and to get true raw data. We had it up there for 2 weeks. In that 2 weeks, 2 vehicles traveling at an enforceable speed, which is over 35. So only 2. So speed isn't a concern as far as our focus would be concerned. However, in discussion with the residents, there's a perception of speed there. They believe people are flying, even though we've shown them. And actually, it's kind of funny. The one vehicle of the 2 vehicles that was going over the speed limit, Officer Hyman happened to be there at that time and actually stopped that vehicle beside him. So that one was taken care of. But, so we discussed the possibility of recommended speed coming downhill from Cardinal down towards Scrubgrass. So, but we were concerned with the work Marie has been doing in the neighborhood, if that is going to screw up any of the traffic calming plans that you had going on with your study, if we would put a recommended speed sign.
I don't think so. I mean, we could coordinate, I mean, because we had spoken about implementing the traffic study after the SOAR work was done. So once that's done, if we want to revisit the speed timing again and tweak the traffic study, that would be fine.
Okay.
Has Public Works been putting up the temporary speed humps?
No.
No, okay.
I didn't even know we had any.
Oh, yeah, we did. We used to put them up there, but we can't because of the plows. It becomes a problem.
They would.
Yeah, right, this time of year.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
You
Hi,
made it.
hi, everybody. I've been here the whole time,
Oh,
mostly. Mostly.
Okay.
I vaguely remember, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that there's something that says we can't interfere with the flow of traffic. We can't impede the flow of traffic with what we want to do.
I think there might have been a concern about something with liquid fuels. If we put a permanent speed hump, that would be a problem, but I'll let Marie address it.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we were covering that base. That's all. I'm gonna unmute. I'm gonna mute.
No, I believe our discussion in the past was in order to place a speed hump, you have to have a traffic study that supports its placement, which is what we did. Temporary speed humps that were placed weren't put at the right location, and they really weren't effective the way they were placed, and they were temporary and they were dislodging quite often. And you are correct, it has to be removed for plow season.
Weren't they damaging the asphalt too? Just they were getting ripped.
Right, because they were installed and uninstalled several times. So the thought was the location that they were typically installed was right within the construction zone of the SOAR project. So once we fix everything, part of that project or subsequent road program would be placement of the proper speed humps at the right location, and then implementing the remainder of the suggestions in the traffic study, the stop signs and so forth. And we can coordinate that with Chief and his data.
So just a couple things. So I just wanted for any residents, there is a traffic study that was done in the area of Birdland. It is not come out yet, and you will be implementing what's in it next year after the sewer project is over or at the same time. So there will be things happening in the area. You just mentioned a speed hump. I don't know, is there gonna be a speed hump on Raven Drive or, because I don't know what the recommendations are.
Right, we had, I believe we had 2 speed humps, and we had some signage changes. Obviously posting speed limit signs, and if she has data that may make a revision to what we've already done, we need to look at that comprehensively. But yes, we started working on the traffic study. We have it essentially complete. We backed off on issuing it because why would we put speed humps in if we're going to be constructing in the area? So the decision was made at that time just to halt and do it all after the sewer was installed.
2 quick follow-up questions. So we haven't seen the actual traffic study yet. Okay.
No, I mean, we've discussed it, but there's been no official document that's gone out.
Okay, understood.
And sorry.
No, okay.
No, I've seen on our reports, on our engineer report, I've always seen that the traffic study is undergoing, and now I don't see it anywhere.
I actually took it off this month because it's part of the North Ren project, so I kind of combined it all together.
Okay, thank you. I just thought all of a sudden it's
Oh,
gone.
I'm glad you read the report though.
I read it, everything.
Thank you.
Second question, how are these temporary ones actually installed on the asphalt? Like, I don't know. Would it be, if we're thinking of installing them permanently or not permanently, if we're going to continue to use the temporary ones, is there something we can place into the asphalt that's permanent, that then these things would attach to, so we're not reattaching or unattaching from the asphalt itself? I have no idea.
So a speed hump, a proper speed hump is obviously constructed out of asphalt. So it's made so that it's not, the short speed bump that everybody thinks of that the shopping centers place. It's a longer constructed item so that your car, it'll slow you down, but it doesn't jar your car and cause damage. These are larger installations that, obviously you can't put them in front of somebody's driveway. You have to place them strategically, but you can plow over them. I mean, they're not removable. They're permanent installations made out of asphalt. What Public Works used to place was they were some kind of a rubberized bump, and they weren't very wide. And if you came flying down Raven and you hit one of these, it was going to do some damage to your car. And if you looked at where they were placed, you always saw like oil marks and such on the road where people, really hit them too hard. But they just weren't, they weren't placed in the right location. I mean, people think logically, oh, we'll put them at the low spot in the dip so that, people will slow down when they get there. But by the time they get there and see them, they don't have time to slow down and they just hit them way too hard. You put them on the outlying areas. So in discussions with Tom Kelly and Bert, and in support of the fact that road was just falling to bits from repeated install and uninstall, because there's pegs that pegs that are in the road, and then you attach this to it. We decided let's not do it anymore because they really weren't helpful, and they were destroying the road.
I gotcha. Thank you for that explanation. I honestly, I never seen them, so I wasn't sure how it actually worked.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Just one thing real quickly. The placement of it will be 2 50-mile-per-hour signs going up the hill. The first one's actually right next to the 25-mile-per-hour sign for the road, but this one will be going down the hill. We do have one, we have 2 going up the hill, we have 1 going down the hill. So we're gonna be adding 1 more going down the hill, and it will be up further on the hill. Now I'll leave it up to you and the police and everyone to decide the proper placement, but it will be before the hill and before the one going down the hill.
Sure, we'll look at it for proper placement. I don't know for certain, but I'm pretty sure that we don't need a true act of the board to get this signage. As long as you're all in agreement tonight, we can, it's a recommended speed. So It's not really changing any regulation.
It's not really enforceable. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Because I mean, that's why we've stayed away from them in the past, right?
We
Okay.
did it on Lindsay Road, if you recall. Commissioner Edwards requested on the hill coming up Lindsay,
Yeah.
we get it there. And the residents seem to think it helped. So I don't think it would hurt for sure.
Okay. I got someone's yard. We could stick one of those in.
Okay.
Yeah. The speed signs, the ones that are gonna be permanent structures, any updates on those?
Yes, so I've kind of been looking and I've decided that they are not going to be permanent structures
Oh.
because they are movable. So we're getting the ball rolling on getting them installed.
Okay.
So the two officers I have assigned to it are going to be working with Public Works to get the posts in and set. So they should be up in the very near future.
Great. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Kathy, anything else?
No, nothing else. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Standing committee report, Public Works,
Nothing for tonight.
Environmental Committee, Sewer Committee, and MS4 update. Hello?
Nothing for the sewer committee. We're having environmental council meeting tomorrow at 6:30.
Parks and Recreation, Eileen?
Just a reminder that Saturday is the Easter breakfast. I'm sorry, Easter. I even wrote that.
Yourself.
Christmas breakfast with Santa. At the lodge, December 13th, 10 o'clock and 11:30. Cost is $8 and you must RSVP. Terry would also like to thank all the commissioners that were able to make it. Tree lighting, it was a nice turnout, really nice. So thank you guys for showing up and being there to help.
Public Relations, anything for tonight? All right, Library Liaison Report, Michelle, are you there?
I sure am. We actually have something on the agenda, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you want
Can
me to
somebody
read it?
please read that for me? Because,
Can read it.
yes, please.
Discuss the request from the library for to use the community room on Friday, April 24th, 2026 to host the annual volunteer recognition event during National Library Week with the fee being waived.
So unless anybody has an issue with that, we'll just put that on for a vote at the next meeting.
I
Michelle?
just have a question. Can they move it to like Thursday to a different day? I don't know whether the community room potentially might be rented by somebody. Since they're asking us to, I mean, I support the library. I think that they're wonderful, but is there a possibility of just moving the day?
I think we've allowed them to have this in the past.
Okay.
On whatever day they wanted it, just because it's their night of celebrating with volunteers. Yep.
Mike, did we check availability?
It was not rented for that day.
Well, typically it doesn't. We don't get many rentals that early in the year. Yeah, later on, maybe that would have May, June, or July would affect it, but
I don't have any problem. I have no problem with it. I just was just questioning it, that's all.
yeah.
All right. Any other questions or comments on that? All right. So again, we'll put that on for a vote. Michelle, did you have anything else for tonight?
Of course, the library is accepting donations for used books. Remember, we've got the Friends of the Library book sale planned for early May 2026. And please consider the library for all of your reading this winter. We've got the winter reading challenge for all ages, and that's all ages. And for all the information, please go to www.scottlibrary.org. And thank you very much. It's Love Your Library Month, I think, in February, Tom.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
SACOG, we have nothing for tonight. Standing Committee Report, Administration, we have the manager's update.
We have things to look forward to in 2026. The website upgrade for the calendar is going to be forthcoming due to the recent changes in the IT department. Carla and I researched ways to improve communications to the residents at little to no cost of an increase. The seamless partnership with CityBot allows GoGov, the company that we're looking at, to bridge the gaps with social media notifications. And we will also be looking at giving our newsletter a facelift this year. And Michael is going to be working on that.
I have no issue investing in technology. What happened with the current, I'm unclear on what happened with the current calendar, how that.
So the plugin that we use is failing. So we need to look at different plugins for the website.
So is it just not being supported anymore, or?
It's just giving us a lot of, we can still use it, but what's going to happen is it's going to be going down more than it's going to be staying live. So what we've been looking at is some upgrades to make it even better, where you're going to be able to use some of the brochures that Terry uses, and we'll be able to immediately share that on the website with the calendar, and then also on all of our social media sites.
Nice.
So I think it's going to be a pretty big improvement. One of the other things that we were looking at is the website itself. Right now, I think that we need to start looking at that technology as we move forward into 2026 as well. That's all I have.
Thank you. Conferences and workshops, we have nothing for tonight. Are there any public comments on items not listed on the agenda? Oops, sorry. Discuss the advertisement of the 2026 meeting dates. I was just looking at them. It slipped right over it. That attachment is in our onboard book. I usually go through and double check and make sure they look good. So can everybody put eyes on it just to make sure we're good to go for the next meeting?
I keep interrupting you, Sam. Sorry, Sam. I just have a quick correction on that. The Environmental Advisory Board, it has it the third Thursday, and it's the second Wednesday. And would just like to, it's also at 6:30. But I'd like to request to move it to 6. Some of the members asked to move it to 6. So second Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
Okay. We can make that modification for the vote.
Yeah.
I'll preface this by saying I'm not suggesting that we do it this time, but has it ever been considered to move our meetings not to conflict with school board meetings?
Very often, we always reject it. Yeah.
And any particular reason?
Because we've had this date for 40 years and it works for everybody's calendar. Everybody in the world knows we're the second Tuesday and the fourth Tuesday. So
Okay.
why would we change now? Let them change if they.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
In case you couldn't tell.
Yeah, in case you.
I think it's a seasoned decision.
That's why I said I prefaced with, I'm not suggesting that I change. I was just asking the question, so it was asked.
Maybe we could reach out again and ask them.
Happy to do
Yeah,
that.
because
Do we have a liaison with the school board anymore, or how does?
I would be curious how the other communities in Chartiers Valley, what day they're on. We could look at it, we could discuss that at Route 52 and
Yeah, I'd be curious to see that now that you mentioned it.
to see if there's any other, because we could move to Wednesdays. They could move to Wednesdays. It conflict with Collier or somebody else.
Yeah, there's probably not a perfect solution to that problem.
Collier moved their meetings up, like they're like at 5 o'clock, I think. Each one has one meeting. I don't know. Huh? Yeah. We can talk. I can ask.
Thank you.
Yep, sorry, I'm skipping over everything tonight. Okay, conferences and workshops, we have nothing. Are there any public comments on items not listed on the agenda? Nobody online? No? All right, we'll move to commissioner's request. If somebody pops up, we can deal with them. Angela, we'll start with you.
I have nothing. Thank you.
Eileen?
Nothing.
Two quick things. I'd like we get to see on when we have big spending items where that money was budgeted on our agenda. If we could start to see that again, that'd be great. And then just thank you to the fire departments for all of their help in bringing Santa to the event this past weekend, and Public Works for getting the park looking beautiful. And special shout out to Jude Scamacey for bringing the s'mores for the fire and getting that going for everybody. Thank you.
Tom?
You have two things. Hey, Mark, I got a call from one of the churches. Do you need a permit for a 59 by 35-inch sign?
The answer is,
I can hear you.
the answer is you need
Any sign.
any sign.
Okay, well, that's an easy answer. And then secondly, has anyone on the board, Denise, heard, did we get a tax collector elected?
I have not heard
I
any.
don't think so.
I knew the write-ins were like 200 write-ins.
Yeah, I haven't.
We haven't been notified.
Okay, I was just curious.
You call the elections office tomorrow just to see.
I don't know if they'll answer you, but yeah.
They
That's
may,
all I have.
Okay, thank you. Nick, anything for?
they give you a hard time about it.
Two things. One, the date is blocked in Community Pass. I'm assuming it's because you already blocked it for the library. Okay, cool. I'm just trying to get used to using this. And two, there was an idea that I thought of with the fire department bringing Santa up right after the Grinch was at the tree lighting. Probably should have had the police come up and get the Grinch out of there. Yeah, that might be an idea for next year. I think we have an officer that's done, I think he's arrested the Grinch before, so, yeah.
Yes, experience. All right, Jane, anything for tonight?
I just wanted to mention that the Scott Conservancy is going to be collecting Christmas trees, used Christmas trees, the ones that are, there were fresh trees originally, not sitting. So if people want to donate them to the Conservancy, take them down to the scrub grass area and put them in a pile. Just make sure that there's nothing, there are no tinsel or lights or any kind of ornaments on the trees.
People don't bring trees down with lights and stuff on them, do they?
Would do that.
Try to get everything off, but every once in a while, somebody leaves a tinsel on.
All right, thank you. Kathy?
Nothing, thank you.
And I have nothing for tonight.
Stacy, I will tell you that, Terry wanted to be here and thank everybody in person, but there's a fire in Glendale, so.
Yeah, I heard it. Stop.
I forgot our.
Everybody.
Guy, Michelle, anything for tonight?
Yes, I just wanted to say I hope I see some people at the Breakfast with Santa on Saturday. It's my intention to be flying in last minute to see everybody.
Are you
So
gonna
I
be
want to
Mrs.
see lots
Claus?
of
Are you gonna be Mrs. Claus that day?
not.
Flying in, so it must be on
Mm, I
sled.
On sleigh or broom, one or the other.
That was so.
Nice.
I can't even be mad about it. No, I don't think I will be Mrs. Claus. I don't know. And I can be talked into it.
I will.
Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I hope to see a nice turnout on Saturday.
I'll see you at Breakfast with Santa.
See you there.
All right.
Stace, I have two personnel matters, take 5 minutes each before we all leave. I know we don't have to vote on or anything, but two personnel.
Okay. All right. So again, I have nothing. So we do have two items to discuss briefly after the meeting. But so unless there's anything else, we will adjourn. Could I ask for a motion, please?
So moved.
A second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.